I'd mentioned in a couple videos that a doctor said I was like extreme dieting, or dieting, perhaps extreme dieting. So I guess I've had people ask, and I don't remember if I put this in a video or not, the numbers, but I can provide the numbers. And what I mean, that like calories and exercise and stuff like that. And so I went to the doctor, and there's like, I was at zero risk of having an eating disorder. I had a BMI of like 18.6 or 18.7, which is like the very 18.5 into like 25 is healthy, or 24.9 is healthy. So it was like at the very bottom of the range healthy. But eating disorders was something that I did not have. Extreme dieting was, and I'll give you, so I was a swimmer in high school, and so this came up when I was in high school, because we had to go in for physicals for sports. And so this came up. She provided an example of what it means to be a swimmer and be anorexic, like competing at like not a high level, but just having a certain training regimen. So I'm going to provide the example of what I was, which is she classified as like extreme dieting, dieting to extreme dieting. And then she also provided an example of what an anorexic swimmer would do, kind of in terms of number of hours of exercise and calories eaten. So she classified me as extreme dieting. Sorry, segue. She classified me as extreme dieting. I was eating 1,400 to 1,600, like upper end, so like 1,480 calories to 1,680 calories a day. And I would do up to an hour of high intensity exercise. And by her definition, high intensity exercise was 1 hour of consistent swimming. So like 1 hour of swim practice, or like 1 hour of swimming laps. It didn't matter like how fast I was swimming, just that it's continuous kind of, or like swim practice makes up for it with intensity, kind of like the breaks between sets and stuff like that. So it was 1 hour up of, and specifically it's why it was kind of like a borderline, like dieting to extreme dieting, was I didn't always do 1 hour of exercise. There were days where I would run like 4 miles. That doesn't take me an hour to do kind of thing. So it was just kind of the extreme case of 1 hour of high intensity exercise and 1,800 or 1,480 to 1,680 calories a day. That was like dieting to extreme dieting. So that's what I was. I don't do that now. I struggle like with, like my weight fluctuates through time. So that's kind of where the Tanis diet kind of came from, was I can still like function and stuff with like a lower bound of like 1,880 calories, something like that. Yeah, it's kind of evolved, and like as I've done it and that kind of thing. So, yeah. Now my mom was like, okay, but like, what would it, I think that was kind of like, well, what, so that's dieting or extreme dieting, what would it look like? Or like, well, like, what would it look like if somebody had an eating disorder, or like anorexia and was an athlete? And the doctor provided the example of, for like swimming, which is a high intensity, burns a lot of calories. That's why a lot of people do it, is it gets the heart rate up, get a good workout, burn a lot of calories, stuff like that. She said, provided the example of, for a swimmer to be anorexic, it would look like the swimmer trains high intensity 3 hours a day, which I have not ever done even. So a swimmer would train 3 hours a day, for example, and eat only 2,400 calories. That would be anorexia for a swimmer. And so I was just like, I'm not there. Like, I think if there were days where we'd have swim practice, and swim practice would be 45 minutes. And so I would do additional lap swim for like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. So that gets me up to over 2 hours, but 3 hours, that's something I didn't ever do. So which is my way of saying, I think when people train that long, so like the diet changes with it, at least that's what I've noticed, is like if I get 2+ hours of high intensity exercise, I need to kind of like be like, is my body feeling all right? Like, do I need to increase my calorie count? Because like my body is kind of sensitive to like, I can't go under 1,400 calories even without exercise kind of a thing. And like, I struggle with 5,000 or more even if I exercise a lot kind of thing. So like, it's just, my body is not necessarily, I think some people get eating disorders not because of perfectionism or something, it's just like their body feels okay eating that little calories. I can't do that. Like, I am incapable of doing that. My body is not like capable of doing that. So like, I'm not the kind of person susceptible to the like physical or mental or kind of social origins of eating disorders. Like, that's just, I say it's not my thing, but it's also like, my body doesn't, like, some people actually come up with eating disorders on their own without peer pressure or mental aspects or perfectionism and stuff like that. And so that's just like something to keep in mind. Yeah, so extreme dieting, 1 hour of high intensity exercise and 1,480 to 1,680 calories a day. That's, in my experience, what a doctor classified it as.